Hello everyone, and welcome back to my chatty, sassy channel here on YouTube, where I talk about all things luxury, be it luxury fashion, luxury travel, or life's luxuries in general. And today I want to talk about something that has been quite viral in the luxury community and something that I didn't necessarily plan to do a video on, but that is going to be the Walmart Birkin, the Workin, the Walmez Birkin, the dupe of the Birkin that's been sold on Walmart for 80 bucks. So I want to talk about that bag. I want to talk about my thoughts on fakes and dupes and inspired by items. And I also want to talk about, what does this say about luxury, as well as what my luxury experiences say about luxury and what luxury really is to me at this point in my life. So with that, let's get into the video. And I want to start out first with my thoughts on what makes a fake, what makes a dupe, what makes it inspired by, and are these okay? First off, fakes, they are things that are illegal, and they are replicas of actual authentic products with the label on them and everything. These are illegal. We also know that a lot of these fakes go to fund various areas of organized crime. That a lot of times the working conditions are terrible making them, and that they involve a lot of things like human trafficking and slave labor and a lot of horrible, awful things. But dupes, to me, are things that are truly made to look exactly like the product or as close as they can possibly get to the product without the label on them, so that they can say, oh no, it's not a fake. The Walmart Birkin is definitely one of these, and I don't care if they say it's not a fake. I think it is, because even though it doesn't have the label on it, you are very clearly making that bag to sell as a lookalike to that bag, and I personally find that to be wrong. I do not like fakes. I do not like dupes. That being said, I do understand the desire for inspired by items. These are items like, they aren't the same thing, but they have a similar look, they have a similar vibe, and it gives you the opportunity to try things out without it being the exact same item. These bags from Hermes are clearly made to be a fake, and they just didn't put the label on it so they could say it's a dupe and try to avoid legality issues. The other thing I want to say specifically about the Walmart Birkin is that Walmart is not the one who was producing it. Walmart was just the marketplace that it was being sold on. Walmart has pulled that from their website. Walmart has canceled a slew of orders for those bags, and I think that has to do with Walmart's a bit concerned about legality themselves. Now, you are able to do whatever it is that you want with your money. However, for me and my conscience, buying fakes, buying dupes is not something that I'm comfortable with. It is not something that I feel is right from a moral, ethical standpoint, and I've talked about that before on this channel. But what does the excitement over this say about the luxury space? And I think it says a few things. I think it says, first off, that many of us who have luxury things, we live in a bubble of being able to afford these luxury things. And most people do not see the value in them. The vast majority of people do not want to spend the money on them. We get in an echo chamber where we think that everyone has these things and everyone buys these things and everyone owns these things, and that's simply not the case. Most people don't. Most people don't have Louis Vuitton Neverfulls. Most people don't have Cartier love bracelets. Most people don't have Birkins and Chanel classic flaps and all these other luxury items. Most normal people don't have those, and they don't care about them. If you are watching this video, it's probably because you care about them to a certain extent. I think what it does say is that luxury really needs to be living up to its service. Luxury really needs to be living up to its quality. And I've had people come up to me when I'm carrying various bags, specifically my Lou camera bag a couple of times, where they've come up and they say, oh, we're wearing the same bag. And I'm like, yeah, because like I could tell that their bag was a fake. And they couldn't, and they said, you can tell that my bag's a fake, can't you? And I said, yes. And they said, well, how can you tell? And I was gonna say, well, the hardware is different. It clearly has a different finish to it. It looks different. Mine has a more substantial feel to it. When I look at the leather, the graining on the leather is very, very different. This is clearly not a high quality leather in the same way that my camera bag is. And I was able to point out various construction things that were better on my bag. I've also had always wonderful customer experience with YSL. Not everyone can say that. Not every store I've been into I can say that at either. But whenever I go into Nashville, I always have an incredible experience with YSL and with quality. But then I look at experiences like what happened with Louis Vuitton Murakami. And Murakami back in the early 2000s was the most counterfeit bag out there that you could find, was multicolor bags. And so they discontinued it because it was so highly counterfeit. But then you see the just disaster and the lack of quantity that there was with the launch that a lot of people are still upset over. I've gotten over it. I've made peace. I'm done buying from Louis Vuitton. I've had multiple bad experiences with Louis Vuitton where they ordered stuff, I paid for it, they then told me that they couldn't actually sell it to me. Where I haven't been able to get items that I've tried to pre-order, where I've had quality issues like the strap on my bag melting into my shirt and Louis Vuitton just saying, too bad, when they know that they have glazing issues with that era of bags. My experience with AP where I was treated just so horribly because I was a woman and my husband was treated amazingly because he was a man. My experience with Cartier where with my watch, I just posted that whole story where it took 4.5 months to get my watch back with constant communication and broken promises. It's stuff like that that leads people to see behind the curtain of luxury, and we all know that luxury doesn't cost what we're actually paying for it, but we expect there to be quality, for there to be ethical standards. Things like the alleged Dior scandal with their workforce, where that really made people feel like that the products that they weren't getting weren't crafted in a luxury way. Walking into Chanel and being treated horribly while they have classic flaps with crooked flaps on display. It's all of this that turns people away from luxury, and they say, you know what, I'm just gonna buy the fake one for $100 and replace it every couple of years. And I can see the argument in that. It's not an argument that works for me. I see how people make that argument. I see why they say, well, I'm just gonna go with a regular leather bag because why would I wanna pay for the label when the quality and the service isn't there? I get that. And so that leads me to evaluate, what is luxury? What do I wanna be putting my money towards? When I look at the things that I want to buy this year, there are several things from Hermes that I wanna buy if I get to Paris. But if I don't make it to Paris, I'm looking at 2 bags, both pre-loved because I think that they are overpriced from the regular store, the Lady Dior and the Prada Reedition. I also look at the fact that I don't really have any other jewelry on my list other than one watch from Tag because I want an alternative to my Cartier tank. I don't really have any other jewelry on my list because I have an extensive collection and the stuff that I have is holding up and I have no need to replace it. And then I have a couple of pairs of shoes. I want a pair of sandals and I want a lower pair of heels. And that's really all that I'm wanting this year because I've purchased quality pieces that are holding up so well that I don't have to worry about them wearing out this season. I know that I've got stuff that's going to be good for years and years. I have bags that I'll carry for years. I have jewelry that I'll wear the rest of my life. And because of all of that, it makes me very content and very happy because I like to make a few big purchases that will last me a lifetime. That is the way that I like to spend my money. And that's how I've always been when it comes to money. I've never been really that into fast fashion. I've liked always, even as like a 7th grader, I always liked Ralph Lauren stuff over Forever 21. And that's just how I always have been. I love antique furniture. I love gorgeous art that's been around for a while and beautiful oil paintings that have happened years ago. And a lot of the furniture in my house is furniture that's been either crafted beautifully and will last me the rest of my life, or furniture that's been passed down for multiple generations into my and my husband's home. And so to me, luxury is about joy and contentment and happiness and having things that you will get to have and have memories and have life associated with for a very long time. That is luxury to me. Luxury to me is getting to spend time with the people that I love, getting to make memories going on vacation with the people that I love. My husband and I are trying to prioritize some trips this year over shopping, but also time and getting to do things that I love. My favorite thing is getting up at 8 a.m. and being at work at 8 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, teaching students at the university, teaching about a profession that I love, getting to curl up with my dogs and read a book. That to me is one of the greatest luxuries. And because of that, because of my dissatisfaction with luxury, I've decided that I'm going to make this channel be a once a week channel. That way I can try to not be burnt out on luxury, not be so pessimistic, as I feel like my last few videos on this channel have been a bit more negative, which is not what I want to do with this hobby, because this is a hobby for me. It's something that's supposed to be fun and joyful. And so I've decided to make a second channel talking all about books and literature and the books that I'm reading and the theories that I have and analyzing those books and talking about the stories that are in them and the things that I love and books that I read this book and I really loved it and this is a similar one, and getting into all of that. And that channel is linked down below. It's called Balancing the Books. And I really hope that you will subscribe to that, as I will be trying to post on that as well once a week. So splitting my focus between two channels to hopefully get to enjoy my YouTube hobby, my fashion hobby, and my book hobby a little bit more and bring more connection into those this year in 2025. So with that, I hope you have a great rest of your day, everyone, and please go and check out my new channel down below. Bye, everyone.